Oh crap, time to make some homemade bread. Okay, 2 cups of water at about 105 degrees. And then I put that into a bowl. I put about 4 tablespoons of molasses. Yeah, just some good old non-GMO grandma's molasses. That's what I got, grandma's molasses. So I put that in there first. This was the kind of bread I make. And gonna put some salt next. And the salt is about 1.5 teaspoons. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. This is a good bread. Really good bread. I just get them 1.5 in both hands, and boom, there's 1.5. And so about 1/4 cup of, you can use like olive oil, whatever kind of oil you want. I'm going to use some vegetable oil. So that requires about, I already figured this out, so about 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good enough for me, right? So I stirred that in. So I got my salt. I got my it already proofed. So I put it in the water. I put it into molasses, and then I put in a tablespoon and a half of yeast, and I let it proof, which means it sits for like 5 minutes. And in my breads, I got my own grown rosemary, so I'm going to put a lot of rosemary in here because I love rosemary and it's good for you. So I got my rosemary in there. I stir that in, and we start mixing the flour in. Right? So it's about 5 cups. So I go ahead and sprinkle the first one in, and I kind of mix it in slowly. You can use your blender, whatever. You know what, guys? This is so easy. It's just so easy to do this way. Right? Okay, another cup. And I'm using organic white sandwich bread, I guess you want to call it. Actually, this one's from Kirkland. So it's pretty good stuff. It's healthy. And so what I'm going to do after is I'm going to leave it in my cast iron Martha Stewart pot and let it rise in there. Everybody, you can put some parchment paper in there and do this and that. You don't need any of that stuff, guys. Honestly, you don't. So I got 3 cups in here so far. Okay, it's getting pretty tacky right now, so I'm going to add another one. That's like 4. And then I take another one and I get it ready in my left hand, because what I'm going to do in a few minutes here is I'm going to put my hands in here, right? So let's see. So I mix it with a wooden spoon, and I use my fingers, to do everything else. It's not that difficult. And it takes a couple of minutes, so I'm going to put another cup in here. 1/2 cup. And it really smells good because of the molasses. I like molasses. Now, you can put sugar. I don't use sugar. You can use stevia and that also in here if you like. Okay, so at this point, now's the time to get rough and dirty. So I get my butter knife, if you will, and I clean the back of the wooden spatula, clean it off. At this point, I got my cup of flour on the side of me ready to add to it. I don't like making a mess, so I try to keep it, you know, keeping it neat and clean and not too sticky and get flour all over your body, all over your hands, I mean. So I need a little bit more, I can tell. It's getting sticky on me. And now you're just gonna knead it in. Couple minutes, and it'll be cooking. I don't mean that literally. I mean, it'll be ready to put it in the pot and let it rise for about 2 hours, you know. And the other thing is, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you take a wet cloth and you put it over the top, and you know what? When it rises, you don't even need that. I just put it in my pot, my Martha Stewart cast iron cooker, if you will, right? So, let me show you in a second how it looks, guys. And when it's sticky, I just turn it over and pick up all the flour at the bottom. I spin it, I scrape the sides, I take it off my fingers, and there you go. Not too difficult, right? Works great. So I can feel it's a little sticky, and now I'm gonna pick it up and like do a ball and kind of knead it like this, and you can see the consistency is getting better. It's sticky, so that means I need to add some more. So what a day! It's what, 6:30? I moved the shed, helped move the shed, put the shed here in the back. I went to another town. I picked up some compost that a guy had made, organic compost from lawn cuttings and leaves and, you know, one of those big piles, and he hasn't been using it, so he said, come on and take some. So I said, no kidding. And then I picked up, I don't know, 200-300 pounds, 300. I don't know, I'm not done with the apples yet. So they're outside now, and they're going to be washed in the morning. And I'm going to show you guys my new press that I made, my apple cider fruit press. And we're going to see how it works together, because it'll be my first time using it. I purchased a Harbor Break 12-ton air jack, manual and air, and I'm going to use that for pressing the mush, the apple must, if you will. Okay, so you see how it's getting in here, and it's kind of sticky, still kind of sticky. I mean, you can put it on the countertop and knead it. A lot of people knead it that way, but I just keep using the bowl and pressing down, spinning it around. Stainless steel bowl, works fine. This is not rocket science, but does make a nice rosemary bread. And I cook it for about 380 to 400 for about 35 minutes, maybe, no, 40 minutes. And I check the core temperature for 190 degrees with a thermometer anyway, so I know it's done. There you go. Okay, I'm cleaning up the rest of it, whatever's in the bowl, any flour left over. And I just cleaned the top of this thing, so, you know, pick up the flour here too, whatever. Okay, still a little sticky, but you know what? I'll survive with that. Okay, at this point, I'm going to put it right in the pot. Let me show you that in a second. All right, here's my Martha Stewart pot, and what I do is I'll go ahead and just flip it and I flatten it out in the bottom. And I'll show you that in a second after I wash my hands. And I just let that sit there. And I'm going to do a full video so you guys will see this in another couple of hours. So you guys will see my perfection bread. How long did that take? 4 or 5 minutes, right? And I don't get fancy and put slots on the top and all that other jazz. Not in this one anyway. Just washing off the hands, guys, so I can get the camera, and I don't want to get flour all over the camera, so, and dough. So, you gotta make a banana bread too. Mañana. Alright, so that's all I do, guys. I sit it like this, and I get my cover, and I just let it sit there and let it rise. And you will see what happens shortly, okay? Alright, guys, it's been about, I don't know, 2 hours, so let's look at this. Oh yeah, she's ready. That bread is ready to go. So I got I got it set for 400 degrees. No, is it? No, 385. That's what I got it set at. 385. Let's put it in the oven. All right, there it goes. All right, so in the oven, 385 for about 45 minutes. So let's set the timer on this. All right. What do we got? We got cooking time. We got the clock. We got the kitchen timer. Let's set up a 35 start. Here we go. 35 minutes. And it's going to let me know when that's done. So we'll check it out momentarily. All right. Let's check the temperature of this bread. It's supposed to be roughly 190 degrees, so I'm going to stick my thermometer in there, and you're going to see it says 195. Well, that's what we want. So you can do 2 things right now. You can leave the cover off. I'm going to shut the oven off. Okay? Off. And you can take the cover off and close it back up and let it cool down. And then what you're going to have is the top cooked a little bit. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to clear the kitchen timer. Everything is cleared. It's 8:26 p.m. here, and you're gonna see the bread in a minute. All right, let's do this. Let's taste some of this beautiful homemade rosemary bread. Close the door. All right, I'm gonna pull it out of the oven right now. Oh, there you go. Now, it should come right out of this pan. And it does. There we go. Whoo, that's hot. That's hot. Now, if that's not a beautiful looking bread, I don't know what is. All right. Check it out. First cut. I'm sure it's steaming hot, and it is. And the top came out nice and brown. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this. That's beautiful, or what? That looks really good. You know, I got a little bit. I'm gonna open this up. This is my fig jam I made the other day. Let's try out some Homestead fig jam. Does that look at this fig jam? Oh my goodness. I never tried it. It's the first time I made fig jam. Woo. You want to see OC? What's next? Eating some fig jam? Mmm. Mmm. You can do it too. Mmm. Absolutely beautiful. Made with molasses. All right, thanks for watching. Oh crap, what's next? Make your own rosemary bread. Use a cast iron skillet. Stock pot. Works great. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Hope you enjoy as much as I do.